Ever since I was a teenager, I've been told that I'm a dreamer, I'm idealistic, and I'm too big for my britches. And of course, people never meant this with a kind heart. I mean, they can put a smile on their face when they say it, but they are all ultimately criticisms, and were always a way to tell me that what I was aiming for or expected of others or myself or organizations was just too much. And it's been hard, because I grew up in a very small town, and most people never leave, and that's okay. It's a certain culture, and people enjoy it. And but the thing that happens is that when you want to go against the grain and leave the pack, people try to reel you back in and say, no, you're not supposed to leave. And people would tell me when I was growing up, when I told people I wanted a doctorate and I wanted to do big things and I wanted to travel the world, people would say to me, people from here don't do that, Stephanie. People from here don't get doctorates, Stephanie. People from here don't do this, and you're not going to be able to do that. What makes you think you're going to be able to do that? And I would often be told that I thought I was better than everybody else, and and how dare I essentially expect more than what others around me have achieved. And it's taken pure grit to be able to overcome that messaging, and that messaging is on top of the multiple sexual violations I experienced as a child and teenager, which those ways told me as well that I was only good for one thing, and that's it. My purpose in life was to please men, and how dare I expect anything more from my life? And so I'm coming on not to, be negative or anything today, but what's been happening recently is I've been trying to date again. I have been single for 2 years now, and I'm finally deciding to get back into dating. And what's interesting is a lot of people that men I've been talking with have asked me, why have you been single for 2 years? And it's a valid question. But I've really been taking time to work on myself. And my last relationship, the one that ended 2 years ago, was the healthiest relationship I'd ever had, but it was still toxic. So it wasn't as healthy as it could have been. And relationships previous to that one were just very toxic. And so what I've been aiming for over these past 2 years is really working on myself and trying to make sure that I don't repeat old patterns with new men I bring into my life, because I've experienced an immense amount of trauma at the hands of men. I have to be careful to not repeat patterns that have been ingrained in me since I was a child, and particularly the patterns of thought that have been ingrained in me about what my worth is and what my mission in life is, or purpose in life is. And so over these past 2 years, I've been taking time to really work on myself and make sure that I don't, again, repeat old patterns. And one thing that I've been doing during this time, particularly before I started, putting my hat into the ring to start dating again, was really saying, like, what is important to me and what do I need in the partner that I'll spend the rest of my life with. And one thing that is very important to me is that they are supportive of my goals. But more than that, they must have goals of their own. And the reason I have determined that that is so important is because I have found it to be true over and over again that people can't understand your passion and desire to achieve certain goals if they don't exhibit passion and desire to achieve their own goals. Like, people just don't either want you or can't imagine you envisioning something more than what they've seen in their own life or experienced in their own life or seen in the lives of people they know. And so, and this has been very difficult for me in many ways because I do have a lot of insecurities, particularly because of my sexual traumas. I have needed a lot of external validation in my life, particularly to say, like, I'm okay on the path I'm on. And so it's been very problematic for me that, one, I have needed the external validation for the world to tell me, yes, you're doing good things, Stephanie, and yes, you're on the right path. But what that external validation is very problematic in and of itself, but what has been very problematic about me needing to announce to the world my goals so the world can tell me that, yes, keep going, you're on the right path, good for you, is what if they don't tell me that? What if they tell me, you're too big for your britches, you have no right to do that, who do you think you are? And that's what I get a lot of times. So it's surprising to me that I've stayed as gritty as I have and as determined to reach my goals as I have, with as many times in my life as I've had people try to bring me back. And what I've realized is the only individuals, primarily, I've got to be careful with this, the majority of individuals who are extremely supportive of my goals are those that have big goals for themselves. And those individuals that see that our possibilities as humans are infinite, which is absolutely true. And so I've really been taking inventory of what I need from the people in my life. And this isn't just in romantic relationships, it's in other relationships as well, like friendships and people that I spend quite a bit of my time with. That it's important that they lift me up and cheer me on. And again, it's going to be hard for me to have someone in my life, particularly someone I'm looking to spend my life with as far as a romantic partner. How is he ever going to cheer me on if he's never strived for big things, or still is striving for big things? And it's going to be hard for him to understand. And so I need to make sure that I am with somebody. And so that came up recently in one of the conversations I had. One of the individuals I was talking to was, we were getting all excited about each other's goals, and that's why I've been reflecting on this, because we were both so excited, like, and talking about how, each other's goals are making, each of us excited about our own goals, and that is exciting, and that is the power of being with people that really align with you and your way of thinking, is that they can energize you. And unfortunately, I find myself retreating from the world, usually, particularly when I'm aiming for something big, because I've got to be careful that they don't pull me off track. And so it's a very interesting thing that I will announce to the world goals of mine, but in the day-to-day grind, I don't need to, I actually start pulling away from people when I've got my head down and I'm moving toward a goal, because as much as I like the external validation, I also know in the day-to-day grind that it's easy to pull me off track if I start getting sucked into those thought processes of, what if I don't achieve it? What if, just the what ifs, what if everyone is right, and what if I am too big for my britches, and, who the hell am I to be, even thinking that I can accomplish this? And so I'm coming on today to encourage you to think about, do you have needs for external validation? And if you do, what's driving that? I know mine is major self-esteem issues from people literally telling me that I was no good and I was good for nothing and I was never going to amount to anything in my life. And so for me, in many ways need the world to tell me I'm enough. But that's problematic. And so if you also need external validation, like I have needed over the years, what can you do to protect yourself from the people who are not going to give you the validation you're looking for? I mean, there's a lot of angry people out here. I mean, there's a lot of people that just hate their life, just think that every day is just an excruciating experience on this earth. And so how on earth, if they don't love themselves and they don't love life, how on earth are they going to shower you with love and appreciation and excitement and well wishes over what you're aiming for in life? I mean, they just can't. And so it's important for those of us who like to use the world to affirm for us that we're on the right path and use the world as an accountability system. We've got to have ways to protect ourselves from the people who will try to pull us off track, because they're out there, and the higher you climb and the greater your goals are, the more people who are coming for you to pull you back. And again, this sounds like a very negative, talk today, but it's real, okay? I mean, just look around. We know there's a lot of unhappy people in this world. And because I am generally happy and bubbly and, approach the world with a smile, I see a lot of people who are like, what are you smiling about? What are you people literally say, what are you so happy about? So, if you have people that think this way, that think there's something wrong with you if you walk around smiling, or if you're happy every day, they think there's something wrong with you, you got to realize that these kinds of people cannot give you what you need as far as, especially external validation, but will definitely not cheer you on for success. And so what I'm learning over time, and particularly what I'm needing to remember as I'm starting to date again and look for my life partner, is that I've got to look for these signs in people. I got to look for the evidence. People tell us exactly who they are and how much they're able to or willing to give to us, particularly in the form of support and love and affection. And so we've got to pay attention to when people tell us who they are, and we've got to trust our instincts and that's something I've been working on over these past 2 years, is learning to trust my instincts and to listen to people when they tell me who they are and what they can and cannot give me. And so, yeah, I encourage you to also evaluate the people in your life currently, but also the people that you may be looking to bring into your life now or in the future, and seeing, are they good for you? And are they going to be able to give you what you need? And also, are you expecting too much from the people around you? And this is something that's been very important in my work over the past 2 years, is to realize I can't expect the world to love me more than I love myself. I can't expect that the world is going to show me love to make up for the love I don't feel for myself. I need to cultivate these feelings of love and abundance and strength and the ability to endure in myself and not need it from the world. Because when you approach the world as saying, you owe me this and please give me this, this, and this because I don't have it for myself, you're going to be let down over and over again. And I have been let down a lot, not only from all the people who've abused me, but just from me expecting too much from other people, and me expecting too much from people that showed me and literally told me that they can't give me what I'm looking for. And so it's been an adventure already, just, again, remembering what it's like to date, but also remembering all the things I need to keep in mind and what are important to me in the person that I'm looking to spend my life with, and also being mindful that I'm not looking for them to give me something that I'm unable to give myself, you know. And that's important. And so I've still got more work to do, and I'm hoping that I'll find a partner who is patient and understands that we're all a work in progress and we can grow together. And I hope to find that with all my relationships in my life, not just romantic, but friendships and with my family, that we can grow together and enjoy this life together. So, thanks for listening. Bye for now.